Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the De-Escalation Lab, Episode 8. Tim Victorella here with you. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday and a nice little holiday weekend. Wanted to spend a little time with you and talk about something really near and dear to my heart. I think the next few episodes that we're going to do, they're going to be a little bit shorter, between 5 to 8 minutes long. And we're going to work really hard to talk about some awesome techniques that you can do with your clients if they're in a crisis state, if they need assistance, and things to just help them ground themselves and get to their baseline to be helpful. So the first one we're going to talk about is the 45 seconds of changing your state of mind. This is a really simple, impactful technique that you can do. I developed this over the many years of doing crisis work, and it really works to help have the person kind of understand what's bothering them, ground themselves, change their perspective, and ultimately change their state of being. So we're going to go over it together, and then we're going to practice it together. And you let me know in the comments what you think of it and if it could be helpful. I also think that if you're with a client and you want to share this video, you could do it real time with them, whether you're in person, face to face, emergency department, or even out in the field. So very, very impactful. 45 seconds of changing your state of mind. So it doesn't have to be 45 seconds. If you have a client that might have some cognitive abilities or is in an active PTSD crisis or really escalated in crisis, this could be a few minutes long. This could be a few seconds long. Really depends on what you need it to be and what the client needs it to be in the moment. So the first thing you want to do is take a few seconds to think about something that created some kind of stress, anxiety, frustration, or sadness. So what got them upset today? What got them in that crisis state? What's been just annoying them or getting them really angry? It could be really small or a really big deal going on. So they want to think about what that perspective is. Taking 3 deep breaths using your diaphragm. So we're going to do some belly breathing here. When we have them breathe in, really want them to fill that diaphragm up, fill those lungs, the alveoli, expand their lungs to get as much oxygen as they can. 3 nice, really deep, slow breaths. Now we're going to try to shift their perspective, and this is part of changing their state. Shifting perspective by being grateful for things, events, or people in your life. This could be something, again, really small or pretty big. So an example might be, I'm grateful that I woke up today. I'm grateful I got to hug my daughter before going to work. I'm grateful that I got pulled over and didn't get a speeding ticket. So we get the idea here. It could be really small, but something that they're grateful for. Then we're going to have them think of some things they love about themselves. So when I train this, everyone goes, well, that could be really hard. I mean, that's hard for me. This is probably the most difficult aspect of this technique, but how empowering is it if they could actually develop something and say something out loud that they love about themselves? It could be, I love the way I look. It could be, I love the way I care for my kids. I love that as much as I didn't want to, I'm sitting here talking to you in a meeting today, right? So it could be a lot of different things. If they're struggling with finding a reason they love themselves, it's okay to pause this technique and say, hey, let's really look at this. And this could open up a whole different perspective if you're doing a session with someone. Then you want to think of reasons why that person matters. Above anything else in the world, why do they feel that they matter and they're worth it? Well, I think I matter today because, and have them fill in the blank. And you could help them through this technique too. It doesn't just have to be something they're sitting there quietly doing themselves. Last is now working to move past the reason they were angry or had anxiety, stress, frustration, or sadness. So what does this technique ultimately do? We try to figure out what's causing the concern, try to ground them by doing some breathing. We're again trying to ground their state by having them change their perspective. So if they're really angry, frustrated, and mad at something, if they start talking about why they're grateful, why they love themselves, why they matter and they're worth it, What the research shows us is that's going to alter their state of mind. That's going to change the state of mind. As we've talked about in previous videos, you have your brain and your body, and they're sending thousands of chemicals and messages across all day long, 24/7, 365. Sometimes they get blocked. So doing this technique can really be impactful. And then ultimately, you've done all of these things to help them ground themselves, do some breathing, feel good about themselves, feel like they matter again. Now, hopefully, you say to them, hey, how do you feel? You said you were pretty angry about your boss yelling at you. How are you feeling now? And they may say, oh, I feel great. They might say, oh, I feel a little bit better, or hey, it didn't work. Every technique that you provide, no matter what it is, it's either going to work or not work. But what we need to make sure we instill in our clients is having them practice this technique over and over. If they woke up every day or every time before they go to bed, they did this technique, they're going to build that muscle memory that they need to overcome events. And that's really, really impactful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through this. So at this point, this would be a good time if you're doing this with a client in real time, you can go to this specific part in the video and it'll be in the link below of the time that it is. And you could actually do this with them in real time. 45 seconds of changing your state of mind. I want you to take a few seconds to think about what is creating anger, anxiety, stress, frustration, or sadness today. Now that you have that in your head, I want you to take 3 deep breaths with me using your diaphragm. So we're going to fill our belly up as far as we can with oxygen. Breathe in with me. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. One more time. Breathe in. And out. Now I want you to shift your perspective by being grateful for things, events, or people in your life. Now that we have something grateful in our life, I want you to think about something you love about yourself. It could be really small or it could be a really big thing. And now I want you to think of reasons why, above all, you matter and you're worth it in this world. Now take some time to work to move past the reason you were originally angry, had anxiety, stress, frustration, or sadness, and change your state of mind to move forward and feel better about you. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes, the more muscle memory you will build, and I wish you well with it. Okay, so that's in there. If you want to use this technique, use it. Bring it up. If you're on a crisis scene, literally, you can bring this out and do it with someone in real time that's in crisis, in the emergency department, a hospital, sitting in your office for a session, or virtually on Zoom, whatever it is. This works. It's powerful. Do it in your teams. It's your next team meeting. Bring this out. Show this video. See how impactful it will be. I thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, as well as the bell to be notified when we have our next video. We'll be having a next video next week to talk more about these easy techniques, and hopefully they're helpful. I wish you well. I hope you are doing great things in the world, staying safe, and I wish you all the best. Take care.